Disclaimer: this is a work of fiction created for entertainment purpose only, not affiliated with BTS or Wicked Entertainment. Characters and storylines are fictional and for entertainment purpose only. If you are homophobic, then please just leave. Tiger's Bunny promote respect and kindness. Introduction: Kim Taehyung, age 22, university heartthrob, personality sweet, confident, and always smiling. Very friendly and effortlessly popular. Girls and boys adore him, kind-hearted, never arrogant about his looks or charm, secretly shy when it comes to his real feelings. Jungkook, age 21, personality quiet, nerd, shy and introverted in public, wear glasses, hoodies and avoid crowds, soft-spoken, looks easily startled. Most people think he is harmless but hides a very intense, almost obsessive side for the one he loves. He is secretly in love with Taehyung and watches him closely, every move, every smile. Gets extremely jealous if anyone gets too close to Taehyung. Despite his timid image, Jungkook is dangerously possessive. He doesn't like anyone touching or flirting with Taehyung, and he has always ways to make disappear from Taehyung's life without anyone noticing. The university campus buzzed with energy as students moved between classes, some chatting, others laughing under the morning sun. A small crowd always seemed to follow Kim Taehyung, the heartthrob of the university, without even trying. He walked through the courtyard, his sleeves rolled up, sun catching in the soft waves of his hair. His signature boxy smile was present, effortlessly charming as he laughed at something his friend Jimin said. Jimin, bro, seriously, half the girls in our department would kill to have lunch with you. Jimin teased, nearing Taehyung. Taehyung chuckled, brushing his hands. Here, they should save their energy. I'm not interested. Just a few feet away, Jungkook turned the corner of the campus library, holding a stack of thick books close to his chest. His glasses slid down a little and he adjusted them, head down, hoodie up. Until he saw him, Taehyung. Jungkook's steps slowed, his heart skipped, stuttered, then thud hard in his chest. His grip tightened on the books as he passed by, eyes stealing 1, 2, 3 seconds to admire Taehyung's face, the warmth in his eyes, the way his lips curled when he smiled. Mine, Jungkook's thought whispered darkly, obsessively. Taehyung noticed him too. Jungkook, he called gently. Jungkook froze, blinking as if catch. He turned slowly, trying to seem normal. Yes, young Taehyung smiled, genuine and warm. You dropped this. He bent down and picked up a pen Jungkook hadn't even noticed falling. Jungkook stepped forward hesitantly, eyes locked with Taehyung's as he took the pen. Their fingers brushed. For the briefest second, it made Jungkook dizzy. Thank you, Taehyung. No worries, you are in the late class, right? Taehyung tilted his head, still smiling. Jungkook nodded, heart racing. Yeah, I sit back row. Before Taehyung could say anything more, a high-pitched voice interrupted. Tai, there you are. A girl ran up behind him. Minsu, the one always chasing after Taehyung like a lovesick puppy. She wrapped her arm around his and leaned in too close. Taehyung immediately tensed. Minsu, not again, he signed, pulling his arm back gently. I told you not to do that. I don't like being touched like this, Minsu. But you are just playing hard to get. She pouted, trying again to touch his hair. Jungkook's finger twitched. His smile faded, his jaw clenched, his vision clouded red. His vision clouded red for a second. She touched him again after he said no. He wanted to rip her hand away, slam her to the ground, yell in her face to back off, that Taehyung belonged to him and no one else, but instead Jungkook lowered his head slightly, eyes dark under his bangs, and gripped the book so hard his knuckles turned white. Taehyung noticed the shift in him, but not fully. He gently stepped away from Minsu again. Taehyung, please, Minsu, he said more firmly, don't touch me. I have said it before. She huffed and finally walked off with a dramatic bow. Taehyung turned back to Jungkook, about to say something, but paused. Jungkook's expression was unreadable, his eyes distant, his whole body still like a statue. Taehyung, hey, are you okay? Taehyung asked softly. Jungkook blinked and looked up. The red in his eyes was gone, the paste was buried again. Jungkook, I'm fine, Young, he said with a small smile. You are too kind to people who don't deserve it. Taehyung tilted his head, a little surprised by the bitterness in Jungkook's soft voice, but before he could ask more, Jungkook bowed his head slightly and turned to walk away. Jungkook, see you in class, Young, Jungkook whispers. Taehyung stood there for a moment, watching his retreating figure. Something about that boy always felt deeper than he showed. Time skip. Jungkook closed the door to his small dorm room with a quick click. He stood still for a moment, then slowly, like a mask being peeled off, his soft expression faded. The shy eyes, the nervous lips, the timid air are dissolved, and something else emerged, dark, sharp, burning. His hand trembled slightly as he placed the stack of books on his desk. But it wasn't from fear, it was from rage. She touched him again. His beautiful, kind, warm-hearted Taehyung, touched like a toy by the pathetic girl who couldn't take a hint. Don't touch me, Taehyung had said, and yet she did. She ignored his discomfort, ignored his words. Jungkook's eyes turned shut as he walked toward the far side of his room, lifting a faded poster on the wall. Behind it was a hidden corkboard neatly covered with photos of Kim Taehyung. Some were selfies Taehyung had posted publicly, others were not, candid shots from classes, from the cafeteria, from the library window, taken through glass. There were printed screenshots of his Instagram, a few ticket stubs from events Taehyung had attended, and even a receipt from the cafe Taehyung liked, one Jungkook had taken from the trash just to keep. Jungkook reached out and gently ran his fingers across one of the photos, Taehyung smiling with his head tilted, sunlight in his hair. Jungkook, you are mine, Young, Jungkook whispered, you just don't know it yet. His voice was calm, gentle, but his eyes, they were full of storm. I see the way you smile at adults. But that smile was meant for me. Just me. He sat down on the edge of his bed, clutching a soft black hoodie. It was Taehyung's, one he had taken from the laundry room weeks ago, still faintly holding his scent. I don't want to hurt anyone, but if they touch you again, Young, he whispered, eyes empty, voice low. I can't promise I will hold back next time. Silence filled the room. Jungkook closed his eyes, pressing the hoodie to his face, breathing in the faint scent of lavender and mint. His heart, twisted and obsessed, thumped like a war drum in his chest. Just look at me, Young, he murmurs, please, only me. Next day, the lecture hall was usually quiet. Today, Taehyung sat at his usual spot near the front door, doodling lazily in the margin of his notebook, but his mind wasn't on it. It was on Jiyeon Jungkook. The moment in the courtyard, the way Jungkook's voice changed, the words he said, the faint chill that passed through him when their eyes met. It stuck with him. Most people looked at Jungkook and saw a harmless nerd, glasses, books, quiet hoodie, kid, probably scared of loud noises and parties, but Taehyung saw more. We are too kind to the people who don't deserve it, Jungkook had said. His words had been low, almost accusing, but not cruel, just honest. Why did it feel like he was being watched ever since? He turned his head, eyes scanning the lecture hall. There in the back row sat Jungkook, head down, fingers playing with his pen, but Taehyung felt it. He was being watched again. He smiled slightly and stood up as the lecture ended. His friends began packing up, but Taehyung walked slowly and deliberately all the way to the back. Taehyung. Hey, he said softly, stopping in front of Jungkook's desk. Jungkook looked up, startled. Taehyung, he knows my name. The thought made Taehyung's heart flutter a little. He sat beside Jungkook before the boy could object. Taehyung, you are really smart, Taehyung said casually. You always seem to understand what the professor is saying. I honestly don't. Jungkook blinked confused. I just take notes, Taehyung. Can I see? Jungkook hesitated, then slowly handed over his notebook. Taehyung flipped through it, eyes widening. Taehyung, oh, you tried in the corners, he smiled. These are good. Taehyung, ears turned pink. It's just habit. I didn't think anyone would see them. Taehyung, well, now I want to, Taehyung said with a little grin, handing it back. Hey, I was wondering, would you wanna hang out sometime, like after class? Jungkook froze, his heart thudded once, then again, then faster. He's asking me out, he's coming closer. Jungkook swallowed, trying to hide the hungry spark in his eye. Sure, he whispered, I would like that so much. Taehyung smiled again, softer this time. Cool, I will wait for you after class tomorrow. He stood and walked off, unaware of the fire he would just lit. Jungkook watched him leave, his lips twitching into a slow, trembling smile. He is coming to me now. He wants to be near me, finally. His fingers traced a spot on the desk where Taehyung had rested his hand. Jungkook, you have no idea what you have started, Yoongi, he whispered. The cafe across campus was quite tucked behind tall hedges and a wave wall. Not many students came there, which was exactly what Taehyung picked up. He liked peace, and right now he was curious, maybe even nervous. Jungkook had arrived 5 minutes before him, sitting at the corner table, hands folded neatly in his lap, eyes locked on the window like he was watching shadows move. He is so quiet, but there is something in those eyes, Taehyung waved as he walked over. Hey, he said with a warm grin. Jungkook looked up instantly as if Taehyung's voice was the only one he ever listened for. Hi, Jungkook whispered, straightening his back. His voice was soft, but something dark and unreadable behind his expression. Taehyung sat down. So what do you usually order here, Jungkook? The vanilla latte. Jungkook replied without hesitation. You like hazelnut, right? Taehyung blinked. How would you know that? Jungkook stared at him for a bit too long, then smiled. You ordered it last week in the cafeteria, I remembered. Huh, that's observant. Taehyung chuckled awkwardly. Guess you're sharper than I thought. They ordered their drinks and talked soft, harmless things, music, books, professors, but the longer Taehyung watched Jungkook speak, the more he noticed tiny things. The way Jungkook's hand clenched whenever someone passed too close to their table, the way he kept glancing behind Taehyung, checking, watching, the way his smile twitched almost possessively when Taehyung leaned forward just a little too close. Taehyung tilted his head, studying him. You always this intense, Jungkook blinked, his soft boy act snapping on like a switch. I'm not. I just don't talk to people much. Taehyung laughed lightly, sipping his coffee. That's okay. I kind of like it, that you're different. Jungkook's heart skipped. Different. He likes that I'm different. Jungkook, I love you too, he said under his breath. Taehyung blinked, huh? But before he could ask, a familiar and utterly unwanted voice come in. Today I know I would find you here. She stormed toward them, heels clicking, all pink gloss and perfume. She didn't even glance at Jungkook. I texted you like 4 times. Why didn't you answer? You said we would work on the project today. Taehyung stood immediately, eyes framed. Minsu, I said no. I told you already. Please don't follow me like this, Minsu. I'm just worried about you. She purred, reaching to touch his arm again. But this time, someone stood up faster, Jungkook, and he wasn't smiling. His chair scraped against the floor. His hands were at his thighs, trembling with tension. His voice low and quick cut through the air. Jungkook, he said, don't touch him. Minsu blinked at him like he was furniture, suddenly speaking. Excuse me, Jungkook stepped forward, one step just enough. His eyes were not nerdy or nervous now. They were dangerous. You keep forcing yourself into his space. Even when he said no. That's harassment. Taehyung stared at Jungkook in shock. He had never seen him like this, not in class, not even a hint. Minsu laughed awkwardly. You are just a shy little lab rat. Don't act like you know what you are saying. The wrong answer. Jungkook's jaw clenched. He looked like he wanted to scream, punch, break something, anything, but Taehyung gently placed a hand on his arm. Taehyung, look, it's okay. The nicknames turned both of them. Jungkook instantly froze. The fire in his eyes dimmed but not out. Minso, sensing he wasn't welcomed, scoffed and stormed away. Silence settled between them. Taehyung looked up slowly. That side of you, I have never seen it. Jungkook looked away. You were not supposed to, Taehyung. Why not? Jungkook, because I don't want to scare you. Taehyung stared at him, really startled. He didn't know what this feeling was, but it wasn't fear, it was something deeper and a little exciting. Taehyung, you didn't scare me, he said quietly. Jungkook looked at him. No, Taehyung smiled faintly, fingers still on his arms. You protected me.